Robert Lee Stinson was convicted of murder and sentenced to life on the basis of a bite mark. Forensic examiners claimed that this bite mark had to have been made by teeth identical to Stinson's and that there was no margin for error in their conclusion. But after 20 years in prison, new evidence revealed that Stinson was not the perpetrator. How could the jury have gotten it so wrong? Well, there was actually no evidence to support the practice of bite mark comparison. In fact, an inquiry into forensic science found that examiners aren't just bad at determining who a bite mark comes from, but they can't even agree on whether an injury is a bite mark at all. The examiners in Stinson's case had exaggerated their claims, and the jury was none the wiser. Unfortunately, this is not an isolated case of trial and error. In the United States, over 2,400 people have been wrongfully convicted, many of them on the basis of false or misleading forensic evidence. These are those people. Forensic examiners currently testify with a probability. So they'd say it's 5,000 times more likely that the bite mark comes from Stinson than from someone else. The problem? Well, in my research, I've shown that this is not only hard to understand, but it still ignores the fact that examiners simply can't match bite marks. Clearly, there's a need for a better approach, one that jurors can easily understand, evaluate, and apply. And I've been working on a way to do just that. So I turned to the field of medicine for help, where doctors constantly deal with binary decisions that have varying degrees of error. Normal or abnormal, positive or negative, cancerous or benign. I saw how doctors discussed accuracy and error with their patients and applied this to forensic testimony. So in my experiments, I showed thousands of mock jurors scenarios about how often forensic examiners make correct and incorrect decisions. I varied the examiner's overall accuracy from 50%, or no better than a coin flip, up to 99%, or almost perfect. So an examiner might say, I conclude that this bite mark comes from Stinson, and on decisions like this, I've been correct 50% of the time. Using this approach, I found that jurors are far better able to understand the testimony and distinguish between strong and weak evidence. By turning our justice system from trial and error to trials with error, jurors will be better equipped to ensure that true perpetrators are brought to justice, but that innocent people like Stinson and others are free.